Welcome to some exciting news that we're going to give you today. Glad to have you all here. My name is Pam Miller, and I'm the chairperson of the Council on Post-Secondary Education. And I'm delighted to be with you today. To the distinguished members of the panel, the Lieutenant Governor and the Chairman of the Education Committee, Chairman Graham, and all our special guests from campuses around the state, we thank you for being here to support the announcements that we're making today and to support the busy adult workers who are going to have a better chance to go back to college and get their degree. That's what this is about today. Project Graduate is a program launched in 2007 by our four-year universities to help adults with 60 or more credit hours return and complete their bachelor's degree, and in this case, in their associate degree. Since most four-year programs are 120 credit hours, these students have already proven they are successful because they've already gotten at least 3/4 of the way through their post-secondary education. However, more than 1,500 adults have found their way back so far. There are many more thousands that are yet to do that. And they completed their bachelor's degrees through the program. And another 1,000 students are in the pipeline. But Project Graduate's statewide model has been so innovative that it was recognized as the Noel Levitz Excellence in Retention Award in 2012, one of 3 such awards in the country. None of this success would be possible without the enthusiastic support of our campus staffs and leaderships. Every single one of our campuses, the four-year public universities are participating. And for the first time, the community colleges also. And they are determined to meet the needs of busy working adults. On behalf of all these new graduates and returning adults, we thank you. We thank you, universities. Today is exciting, very exciting. We are taking Project Graduate to the next level because we believe that you can finish, and our campuses will help you. Here to share the announcement with us is Lieutenant Governor Jerry Abramson, who has a long and impressive track record in promoting education at all levels. I think you are no doubt familiar with some of his programs: Close the Deal, the Mayor's Education Roundtable, and 55,000 degrees in Louisville. All of these initiatives are improving the landscape for Kentucky's people and economy, and we are very grateful that you are here today. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Lieutenant Governor Jerry Abramson.
Thank you, John. Let me first say it is really exciting to be here with Dr. McCall and with Pam Miller, the chairman, and with Chairman Graham from the legislature, because good things only happen when folks all pull together in the same direction, and we're very fortunate in this state to have folks doing just that in the area of education. You know, Kentuckians, time and time again, everywhere I go, I talk with folks who say to me, business leaders here and throughout the country, tax incentives are great, all that stuff is wonderful. What I need is a skilled, educated, productive workforce. Skilled, educated, productive workforce. Hear it time and time again. And what's really exciting about today's announcement is not only is this program available through the universities, the public universities throughout the Commonwealth, but for the first time, we are expanding to the 16 community colleges to give them an opportunity to engage with students online and to ensure opportunities for those students to see community college as a way either toward a career with a 2-year associate degree or a certificate, or ultimately on to a 4-year university thereafter. Now, as was said earlier by Chairman Miller, the bottom line is we have an awful lot of Kentuckians with some college credits who have not finished their degrees, and I am here to speak about one, my wife. My wife is a perfect example of this situation because she had gone to the community college in Louisville, at that time it was community college, now it's community and technical college. She had gone to the community college in Louisville. She had gotten certificate. She had gotten her associate degree. She began University of Louisville at night. Illness overtook her sister and then her mother, and as a result, she was no longer a student, but was actively a caregiver and was a provider in terms of jobs, etc. Well, when it was all said and done, and as our son began to go to high school, she thought it was important that she begin to go back and take some courses. Because as she went, as the First Lady of Louisville, she was saying time and time again how important it was for people to get an education. Now, as the Second Lady, or as we call her, the Deuce of Kentucky, she carries that same message, and she felt like she needed to have that degree to be able to look people in the eye, talk about the importance. So she went back, class after class, semester after semester, and this past December, she received her bachelor's degree. So it can be done. I'll take a round of applause for that. So that's why I'm so excited about the opportunity to carry this message forward to citizens throughout the Commonwealth to take advantage of this program that is now available not only at Eastern and Western and Northern and Murray and Moorhead and Kentucky State, they'll leave at U of L and UK, but now it's going to be available for the 16 community colleges. The bottom line is that it creates a chance for folks to get online, for folks on September 30th, starting at 11 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock in the evening Eastern Time, and to communicate. You get on projectgraduate.org and you start talking with counselors. Here I am, here's what I'm about, here's the difficulties, here's what I've got in terms of credits, here's where I got those credits. What do you recommend? Guide me, give me assistance. And that is really a special, special opportunity for young and old alike, but certainly in this case, we're looking for older potential students to get back into the game and understand the opportunities. So they don't, as my wife unfortunately did, take statistics with chemistry the same semester. You know, you want to spread out the difficult ones and create an opportunity to do well and get good grades. KCTC is officially now joined with all the public universities to participate in this for students with 30 or more credit hours for KCTCS. And all institutions, and this is really important, will waive the college application fee if a prospective student that participates in the fair registers for classes this coming spring in 2015. So bottom line is we got to get the word out because there are going to be counselors sitting there online, listening, waiting, anticipating, and we want to make sure that some folks who maybe didn't think much about the need for continuing their education give it a thought and give their feelings and have their interactive opportunities online with a counselor to give them the guidance necessary to move to the next step. So it is, as I said, September 30th, projectgraduate.org, 11 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night. And Pam, as you used to do as mayor of Lexington, Fayette County, Metro, you didn't put that Metro in it back in those days.
No, we didn't.
We have a proclamation that goes through a lot of whereases, and the ultimate bottom line is the governor, who is in Eastern Kentucky for the SOAR presentation of their project, declares September 30th as Project Graduate Day, and calls on all the citizens of this Commonwealth to take notice, tell your friends, tell your relatives, tell your neighbors, and get them engaged on that day to ask the questions, get the information, and get ready to move forward in their educational development. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. Appreciate that. There. Good. Well, here with us today, fortunately, is Representative Derek Graham, who's the chair of the House Education Committee. He is another longtime supporter of educational opportunities for everyone and attainment for all of Kentucky's people. We're extremely pleased to have you with us today, Chairman Graham. Would you please come up and say a few words? Thank you. Take it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you, Mayor, for giving me a chance to be here this afternoon to take part in what I think is and will be an important milestone for Kentuckians waiting and wanting a second chance to complete their college degree. You know, my assistant who helps me with education matters on the Education Committee, she always refers to education as the great equalizer, and it is. And so I'm proud to stand here with Lieutenant Governor Jerry Abramson and former Lexington Mayor Pam Miller, who is our chair of our Council on Post-Education, and KCTCS President Michael McCall. As many of you know, education has played a major role in my life. I had the good fortune to grow up here in Frankfort and attend the Frankfort Independent Public Schools and my alma mater, Kentucky State University. And I spent more than a quarter of a century, Governor, as a high school teacher, government teacher, and economics teacher, just a few blocks away from the Capitol. It has been a dozen years since I first arrived in the Kentucky General Assembly. And last year, I became chair of the House Education Committee. I'm also the proud parent of 2 children who have attended and who are attending Kentucky colleges here right now. My youngest daughter is attending the University of Louisville, and my oldest daughter just recently graduated in May from Western Kentucky University. And this wide range of experience has given me both a front row seat and a role to play when it comes to our schools and our universities across our great Commonwealth. It has also given me a much deeper appreciation of just how much progress our schools have made, especially in the wake of major reforms from 1990 reforms to 1997 and in the year 2009. And I am amazed at what our students have done in such a short period of time. Through the work of our educational professionals and elected officials at all levels of government, and mostly from the will of the people of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, we've made great progress in moving the education needle in Kentucky. And I am pleased to say that more Kentuckians are reaching higher levels of education than ever before as a result of our combined efforts. These remarkable changes in our educational community have come about because of strong and effective leadership in and out of the classroom. It has taken dedication in the classroom, both behind the desk and in front of it. And it has taken foresight and funding from our educational as well as our elected leaders. However, I'm aware that there's still room for improvement, of course, in our funding. But I firmly believe that our schools and universities are not just heading in the right direction, they're helping to lead the way. The announcement today of Project Graduate College Fair will help create a more seamless process to enable former college students to finish their degrees. The collaborative nature of this event extends the opportunity to every qualifying former student in this Commonwealth. This is a great example of the seamless integrated system of public post-secondary education as envisioned by our former Governor, Paul Patton, and embodied in the Kentucky Post-Secondary Education Improvement Act of 1997. With more recent legislative enactments, such as Senate Bill 1 in 2009, we have seen our ACT score test increase in Kentucky while the national rate has remained essentially stagnant. What Kentucky has achieved has resulted in real progress, especially when you consider that all of our students take the test, unlike in most states. Our broad-based educational initiatives have been recognized by several publications and educational organizations. For example, last year, Education Week's Quality Count Survey ranked us among the top 10 in all of the states. We are adding to these gains by doing such things as raising the high school dropout age to 18 and making it easier for KCTCS students to continue their education at our 4-year institutions. The desire to pursue a post-secondary education is stronger now than ever before, and our goal must be to find ways to help anyone who is interested in attaining the dream of a college degree desirable and to be met. Many of these students are recent high school graduates, but a growing number of our non-traditional students who want to do better and be prepared for this 21st century economy are wanting to return back to school. And more students than ever before are transferring to KCTCS, from KCTCS to our 4-year institutions to finish their bachelor's degrees. and House Bill 160 that was passed in 2010, which was sponsored by my predecessor, who is here in the audience today, former House Education Chair Dr. Carl Rollins, has helped to pave the way. And we commend you and we thank you for that piece of legislation. Let's give him a round of applause. Moreover, the work of all of you in the education community, both K through 12 and the post-secondary ed, have made this actually work for our students. The Project Grad College Fair we are announcing today will help these former students step back into the classroom so they can continue their pursuit of their career goals. On behalf of the Kentucky House, I want to commend everyone who has worked to make this college fair available and accessible. This program will reap dividends for years to come, both for those getting their degrees and for the state as a whole. My colleagues in the General Assembly and I look forward to observing this progress and working with you, doing what we can to build this momentum, and to progress as a state in our educational efforts. Thank you all for allowing me to participate today, for asking me to be a part of this, and may God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Graham. He's such a passionate advocate for education. We're glad you're where you are. And now our next speaker is Dr. Michael McCall, who's the founding president and chief executive officer of the Kentucky Community and Technical College System. And since his appointment in December 1958, KCTCS has grown tremendously, and achieved many successes. And we're very pleased to have Dr. McCall with us as he talks about how KCTCS is coming aboard with Project Graduate.
Thank you, Chairman Miller. I appreciate the introduction and appreciate the opportunity. Lieutenant Governor, thank you for being with us today as well, and Chairman Graham, we appreciate your continued long-term support of education. You've been a true supporter as well. I'm honored to be here today to be a part of this, but more importantly, and as exciting about that, is for KCTCS to be a partner in Project Graduate. What an opportunity for us, because when you think about where we are and what we do in KCTCS, nearly 48% of all undergraduates enroll in one of our institutions. So it's a great opportunity to expand those opportunities, and I appreciate this program being put in place, especially with the council's support of the many programs that have been put in place to focus on graduating, to get our students that opportunity to get the education that they need. You know, KCTCS is a major pipeline for the employability of Kentucky's citizens and the economic prosperity of families and communities. As Lieutenant Governor Abramson said, it is about jobs and education and training, and it's so important that KCTCS be a partner in this program as well. Particularly for those who have graduated or want to graduate, to set additional goals. You know, that's an important thing. We're a firm believer in setting goals for students that go through to get that education, to get that degree that they need. But you know, our students are juggling many different things. They're juggling family opportunities, their jobs. Most of our students work. They're trying to get through, they're trying to earn an education so they can get that better job. And you know, as a result, they can quickly burn out, or they more often just simply become overwhelmed with all that's being thrown upon them, and they often give up because I say, how can I handle this? So, in fact, a recent KCTCS prospective student research study, it revealed that the primary barriers to achieving a college degree are cost, one, and life issues, two. So those are the things that our students have, so we need to focus on those as well. So through Project Graduate, KCTCS will have yet another opportunity and avenue to encourage these individuals who have had to place college work on the side in order to return to college and to make that investment that they so desperately need. Our Project Graduate plans include a direct mail campaign. It includes radio spots, campus advocates at each of our more than 70 locations all across the state, and there will be specific campus action plans at each one of our colleges. In addition, as has already been mentioned, all 16 of our colleges will participate in this program, and they'll be online in the fair that the Lieutenant Governor mentioned a little earlier. Our campus advocates will be targeting particularly KCTCS students dating back to 6 years ago, to 2008, who have earned 30-plus credit hours and have not received that associate degree, and who do not currently owe money for their previous enrollment. And so far, you realize that there are about 25,000 former KCTCS students who have been identified in this particular cohort. And if we could just reach out to 10%, I mean, that's a small number. 10% is 2,500 more students who will have that opportunity to get that degree and then to transfer on and to move forward as well. And we hope that 10% is just a bare minimum. We think that we'll see much better results as well. You know, I think that we all talk about education, college education. It truly is. It's an investment in every sense of the word. You talk about those two life barriers, cost, but it is truly an investment as well. I believe, though, that it'll be the cornerstone of employability, career success, and financial stability for all of the Project Graduate students that we reach in this initiative that we're undertaking. So I thank you for the opportunity, one, to be here today to talk about our involvement in KCTCS, but particularly about supporting this very, very important project to keep our citizens educated, because it's simply an educated citizenry that's going to move this state forward, and we are a major part of that. We're all in this together, all of our partners. So thank you for supporting it, and thank you for allowing me to be here today, Chairman.
Thank you. Thanks, Dr. McCall, and thank you for participating, all 16 of your colleges. It's tremendous, just a tremendous thing. And now we're going to hear about a success story. This is always the best part. Lisa Cox, we're going to hear from Lisa Cox, who has been a project graduate advisor at EKU from the very beginning of the program. And Lisa serves as Director of Student Outreach and Transition. Welcome, Lisa. Look forward to your comments.
I feel so very privileged to be a part of this today, and it's been such a long road that we've traveled, and we've grown so much as state institutions. I've never been so impressed with the spirit of collaborativeness that our colleagues have shared among each other as we work with our returning adults. It's a work that just, it inspires you to keep on doing the hard work. I have a special place in my heart for adult students. Although I graduated in 4 years from the University of Kentucky, I went on to work at the Postal Service for almost 15 years. Didn't really utilize my education, was making decent money, but I had 4 children at home, and my twins were 9 months old, and I said, I can't do this anymore. I want to go back to school and get my master's. And so, in my late 30s, went back to school full-time, received my master's, and I fell in love with the learning process again, so much that I've made my career at Eastern Kentucky University. And I understand the struggles that are there when you're an adult student and you're trying to manage all of the responsibilities that you have, and you want to be there for your family. You want to you want to have a good income, but you also want to partake in the educational experience that's available to you. And what I've learned through these years of working with these students is that there's ways to navigate. And if I can be an advocate to stand by the person and walk them through the entire process, I don't know how many individuals I've had that have been in my office and are like, I'm so nervous I think I might cry, or just frustrated because they made mistakes, they made choices in their past. They're following them and they feel like they're insurmountable. But what I want to tell everyone is that through Project Graduate, you have an opportunity to return to school, to remediate if you had poor GPA. There's strategies to use to improve that. If you have problems because you've overextended on your financial aid, there's strategies to work to get yourself back in the right place to be able to afford to finance your education. Don't let those kinds of outstanding questions be barriers. And so this has just been such a rewarding experience to be a part of it and to now see it come to the virtual fair and include our colleagues from KCTCS. In my role, we spend a lot of time working with our transfer students, and they bring the same types of issues that the students who left with 80 or more hours have. You know, trying to fit it in, wondering how things are going to work. The online fair, just to give you a preview, there are virtual booths for each of the institutions, and they have links and videos to a variety of different information that would be specific of interest to these students. Then it also will have a variety of individuals that are available to chat from each institution. So you can engage in the chat either in a public forum, or you can go into a private conversation and chat if you prefer to talk about some of your own personal information. I think this is just a fantastic opportunity for us all to share and work together. We don't care which institution you started at. If it's more convenient for you to finish at another institution, we're all collaboratively working at that. We make referrals to each other as part of, we have a list of project graduate advocates, and we make referrals to each other because fundamentally, if we do what's in the best interest of the student, we all win. So thank you for letting me be here today. And I'd like to call one of my, I'll call him, he's a dear friend now, George Selden, to the stage. He's recently graduated in December of 2013, and George has a wonderful story to share. He's one of the 205 graduates we've had from Eastern Kentucky University so far.
Hello and thank you. I'd like to first thank everybody part of the project graduation program, and I'd like to thank God for making this opportunity possible. My name is George Selden. I'm from Los Angeles, California, and I came back to school after 13 years of life. I tried out for a couple NBA teams. I lived life. I played in Mexico. I had some children along the way. I've lost some family members along the way, but through everything that happened, I always knew that I was going to come back to school. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I knew that I was going to come back to Eastern Kentucky University. When I was leaving school, I had my friend pull over, and I got out the car and I looked back at campus and I said, I'll be back. I don't know when, but I'll be back. And 13 years later, I came back and I graduated. But through that, thank you. Through that whole process, I'm not perfect. I'm not going to portray myself to be perfect. I was young. I made some mistakes. I made some life mistakes in school. I made some life mistakes outside of school, and I had to live with them. But I always knew inside of me, you're going to go back to school. You're going to finish. I made a promise to my mother and father before they both passed away that I would graduate from college, and through everything that I was doing, I just knew that I would. And I got to a point to where it was weighing on my heart. It felt like I had like 1,000 pounds on my shoulder. You have to go back to school. I had a son, and I was 30 units away from graduating. People would be like, you're what? 30 units? Why aren't you finished? It's just not time yet. It's just not time yet. And God puts you in certain places for certain reasons, and he brings certain people into your life for certain reasons. And through my whole time of trying to get back into school, it wasn't easy. I contacted EKU. They told me what I needed to do. I found out about a program. It's called the NC2A Degree Completion Award, which ex-student athletes, as myself, they give a scholarship to you if you're 30 credits away. And I read about that, and like lights went on. I got so happy. And so I was calling EKU, can you guys please help me get into school? Can you please help me get into school? Can you please help me get into school? Phone number after phone number after phone number. And this went on for like 2 years. It'd go on, I'd be like, oh, okay, I can't do it this year. Go on and do something else. Get motivated, call again, about 2-3 weeks, nothing. Next year, call, keep calling this time until I get a hold of Lisa Cox. And I had like a $500-something balance. She helped me reduce it. I, spoke to the athletic director. He reduced it. They just said you just have to pay for your keys, for your dorm. I sent like a $60-something check, and they never even they took the money out of my account. I just sent a check, and they didn't, and so everything was working in my favor. Ms. Cox, she was working very closely with Ellen Summers with the NC2A. And everything I needed to do, Ms. Cox was right there. She'd send me emails after emails. We'd talk on the phone. We became Facebook friends, I think, like after the second year of us actually corresponding, and we've never met each other face to face. And so it comes time to, see if I get picked. And September 25th comes, I'm waiting. She's like, have you heard any word yet? I'm like, no, nothing. So I call them, and when I call them, they said, you weren't selected. And I thought life was over. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but there's some way I'm going to school. I'm going to Kentucky, I'm gonna finish. Even if I had to get a job, whatever I had to do, I was gonna do it, because I knew this is, sacrifice or whatever, I'm gonna finish school. And so, but I heard something in Ellen's voice. Ellen said, apply for the scholarship again. She's like, just because I wanted to be like, are you kidding me? I didn't get it. You didn't read my letter. I'm the perfect candidate. Okay, all right, calm down, George. Calm down, take a deep breath. But I heard her say something. She was like, just apply for it again. So I applied for it again. Called Miss Cox. She's like, did you get it? I said, no. We both started crying on the phone. I don't know what I'm gonna do. She's like, okay, if you just whatever you wanna do, whatever you think of, call me back, let me know. So we spoke a couple times in between, and no, this was in May. I'm sorry, this was in May. Didn't get it. They said apply again. So I applied again. I said, do I have to fill out the packet again? They're like, no, all your information is the same. I said, yes, ma'am. Ms. Cox, she had to reformulate something. And one thing I forgot to mention, like when she said we can adjust your grades, I had some bad grades on my transcript. She got them bankrupted. They got like these little money signs next to them now, and they were erased, and that brought my GPA up to like a 2-something. And she was like, okay, now I have all these bad grades off your transcripts. You have to come back and you have to basically get A's and B's. And the first semester I got 3 A's, 2 B's. The summer session I got a D and a B. And then the third session I got 2 A's, a B, and a C. And I finished up with a GPA of, for my senior year, my GPA was like 3.64. And it was, I mean, just education, like where I come from, education is so important. I come from Los Angeles, California, like Los Angeles, not Anaheim, not Orange County, South Central. Crenshaw, Slauson, Martin Luther King, Vermont High School. It's a bad neighborhood. And one of the best feelings I ever had in the world was when I went back to my barber shop, and there were some of the local gangbangers, OG guys hanging out. Everybody was hanging out, and they saw me with my degree. I had it in my backpack. And I said, hey, check this out. And every single one of them gave me a hug, took pictures with me, and they're like, this is what we're talking about right here. And it gave me a feeling like I want to help. I want to get the word out, like, you need to go back to school. Like, not everyone's going to be a Floyd Mayweather, not everyone's Beyonce or Jay-Z, so singing and rapping and trying to fight, or not everybody can do it. If you can do it, I'm glad, I'm great, I'm proud of you. If you can, that's good. But the way our society is structured, education, college, degrees, those are what matter. And I just can't say enough. I can't thank you guys enough for this project. Because if it wasn't for, God, Lisa Cox, and just everything, like, this wouldn't be happening. But I just want to say thank you, and thank you so much.
Well, George, that's a wonderful story. Lisa Cox, you are something. We admire you. Thank you, everybody. Do you have questions? You want to maybe talk to people individually afterwards? Anybody have any questions? Thank you, and don't forget the www.projectgraduate.org. Don't forget. Thank you all very much. Thanks for.